Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and this is the recap review for the last days of Ptolemy Gray. Now, I've seen the last episode, the newest episode, I think, come on in 2 days. And I keep forgetting to tell y'all this is on Apple TV. There are just so many different streaming services. It's like, Lord, like y'all know y'all doing the most. Some of y'all need to get the teaming up because ain't nobody got time for all of this. But anyway, y'all, so the episode started out with us seeing somebody like in the dark, and I'm like, wait a minute, this seemed like he having a moment where he didn't went back in time, and it's Koi Dog. That's who keeps coming to Ptolemy in his mind, telling him about this hidden treasure. And so he's going to wake him up as the person that he is now, who he's 91 years old. Present day, he's 91 years old in 2001, in Atlanta, Georgia. He's from Mississippi. Now, at the time it is, they're making it seem like this is 2001, the summer of 2001. But when they're waking him up, he's in that body, but it's taking him back in the day when people were like sharecroppers and all that stuff. So Koi Dog then took him to this area and has him, following this path because he's saying, I remember what I'm supposed to remember. And he was like, are you sure you remember? And so he basically was trying to remind him that he needed to get the treasure. And so he was like, okay, well, show me. If you know where it is, show me where it is. So he's showing him, leading the way and the reason why he remember how to get to the treasure. So he was like, well, do you know where this is? Do you know where that is? He's telling him, yeah. So then he gets led to a well. And so he was like, well, is the treasure right here? Because Ptolemy actually does not remember in this moment. Because even though he's had the first dose of that shot, he does not remember where the box is in real life. So he's like, okay, well, where is it? And so he done told him it's down in that well. So he was like, oh, so it's down there. So he done dropped the little lantern down there and burn out. And he was like, it's basically down there, but like right when you about to be down there in the ground, it's like behind a little area or whatever. Like it's a lot. But anyway, he was just like, look, it is what it is. So he trying to figure out what's going on with this treasure. Well, we find out that Koi Dog entrusted him to the treasure, whatever this treasure is, because he has to now be on the run because he went and stole this treasure from some white man who does not value black lives, because at the time, this was one of those times where hangings were very popular. And he was like, look, I need you to take this treasure. I'm leaving town. And so he was like, well, I want to go with you. Can I go with you? He was like, no, I need you to be here with the treasure and share this treasure with the world, share this treasure with the community. And so with him being a small child, he's really still not understanding. And he's trying to still go with Koi Dog. And I'm like, child, this is so sad. Well, he was like, well, do you have to leave so soon? He was like, yeah. Not understanding, like, you finna be on the run right now. He had to basically, I guess you could say poison, but not really. It's like he put some truth serum, if you will, in an alcoholic beverage that this white man was drinking that he wanted to get the treasure from. But he was like, oh, I got to go back to this place and get my mama's Bible. So Ptolemy is out in the woods, out of sight. And even though it's still dark, he's out of sight. So the crazy part about all this is that his heart is pounding out of his chest. And even though this man is assuring him that he all right, he just gonna run in the house and get this and come back out and then be on his way, he good. He done went in the house, and Ptolemy is all the while like breathing like, oh my gosh. Like the way that he can sense that this is not a good situation to be in, even though he really isn't aware of what's going on, he has that internal like fear that is ticking away and letting him know, okay, I need to be scared for him. Anything can happen. So he done exited the building. And so he's excited. Man, it's like 4, 5 white men came from out of nowhere and surrounded him and beat him down because I guess they found out that he had like put something in that man's drink or whatever and stole the stuff. And of course, the Bible on the ground, they beating him down. The most is popping off. So fast forward to now. He is talking to Robin, and he calls that treasure the Black Heart. And he's really finally explaining to her what he has been telling other people, when he, is having these moments, his episodes, when Coy Dog comes to him. And people are like, what are you talking about? Like, he really will see Coy Dog in his mind. He'll think he sees him in public. And so he'll be talking and everybody just think, oh, you crazy, what you talking about? So he's just having these moments where he's seeing somebody who's not even there. But the situation apparently is real, that there's a treasure. And I need to know what this treasure is that they need to go on ahead and share with the world, the community or whatever. But in all honesty, it's crazy how this scene went, because it's like she had to basically bring him down to reality and was like, look, I done called the doctor because your temperature spiked and, I didn't know what to do, because he was reacting off of that shot and it was bad. So he didn't even realize he'd been asleep for like days. And this was the most calm he's been in a while. And he woke up. And so she mad at him, was like, you scared me. You scared the crap out of me. And like, they really got really close in such a short amount of time. But she has inadvertently taken over Reggie's spot, and it's awesome, and I'm here for it. But yeah, it's a lot. Well, y'all know he sleeps in his not ex-wife. He sleeps in the wife's room now, Cynthia. And he waking up trying to figure out where he at and all of that. And so he had a moment where he just looked at the picture and he remembered Cynthia. And so the girl Robin, was going to try to like put some clothes out for him, and she got mad all over again. And was like, well, they on their way. They sending a car to come get you and all this. So he done went in his closet where he has a whole lot of dry cleaning, and he pulled out a suit and all this other stuff, put it together. She trying to figure out where it came from. You look nice. And he was like, well, it still fit, even though it's a little bigger now. But, I can put something together. So they done got back to the place where the doctor lived. And he's trying to explain to him that he can remember stuff, but it's like so much stuff going on in his mind and he can't put it all together. It's like he sees stuff, but he can't see it all. And he don't understand. And so he's really trying to explain the stuff that Coy Dog told him. And he was just like, I need to get all the pieces of this. I need to see this through. And I need to do what I need to do, for my great nephew who died and passed away. So, even though Robin is not here for the situation, she was like, all right, whatever. She done went up in this place and set it off, because these people talk about, oh, well, you are much stronger than all the other participants that we've had. And of course, y'all know they trying to pitch him this dream of, oh, we need to use you and whatever. And like, in a sense, they basically tried to make it seem like he could kind of be cured of the dementia that's happening. And so that gave him hope. Now, I feel like there was certain wording that might have been used. And I'm like, he wasn't finna cure nothing by just testing you. He's using you as a test dummy. And so he mad. He mad. Robin real mad. She done went off. She tried to snatch him and go out the door, because he was like, you lied to me. You lied to me, and you told me that once I did this, that I would have all of my memory back and that I would be cured. You mean to tell me that after doing all of this, that after it's all said and done, after I do this last shot, that I'm going to have however long, at the most, a couple of weeks, 4, 6, maybe weeks of remembering all of this, and then my dementia might end up being worse off than it was to begin with. You done lost your mind. So Robin done went all the way off. She done set it off on the left, right, front, and the back over him. And was like, you wrong. What you mean? We ain't got nothing else to discuss. Done went off. And so he was like, okay, she got a point. And she got a reason to feel the way she feel. She done sat up here over me thinking I'm finna die. She done set it off. You know what I'm saying? She is literally still a child. She is still a minor, if I'm not mistaken. And she basically raising herself and him. But you trying to tell them that it's okay, you know what I'm saying? In the name of science, we just gonna tear your mind down and hope that we come along and come up with some great research. We got a lot of money riding on this. We got a lot of money, Big Pharma is backing all of this and whatever. We got so much money coming. What that got to do with them? Robin got so mad, she done walked up out of there because he was like, what you gonna do if I get up and walk out this door right now? But anyway, Robin got tired in her spirit and walked up out of there because it's like, you really tried it because you know you wrong. And then like it seemed like Ptolemy is really not budging, so that done pissed her off even more. So it's like, these people raking you over the coals. Why are you still sitting here? Let's roll. Ain't nobody got time. So he was like, why you lie to me? I don't even understand. And so he was like, you know what I'm saying? I did what I did. It is what it is. And so after everything was all said and done, he was like, where do I sign? Because I'm pretty sure I got to sign for something and all of that. Because he was like, I need all of my memory. I got too much stuff going on. I need to solve my nephew's murder. I ain't got time for this. Robin went out into the foyer where she was waiting. So this man came in with his mama, his wife, or whoever it was. This woman looked like Tania Stewart, who is and or was an instructor on Alabama State University, which is where I graduated from. And she's an amazing actress and has worked alongside Samuel Jackson before. Is it Tania? I ain't seen her in so long, y'all. It looked like her. It probably is her. But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section. And if I find out and think about it after I put this up, I'm going to say, yeah, that is Tania Stewart. But yeah, and it makes sense. Like she played his wife in something A Time to Kill or something a long time ago. Lord. But yeah. But anyway, she see them come in. The woman, you could tell she going through, can't remember nothing. All of a sudden, she tried to pay. She was like, oh, well, how much I owe you? And I was like, Lord. Then she looked at Robin and smiled. She got lipstick all on her teeth. He had to like wipe the lipstick from her teeth. Like he's treating her very, very nice and all this other stuff. But you could tell she gone. And I'm like, Lord, this man is exploiting Black people. This is in Georgia. I don't know how many times I'd have told y'all about how Georgia, for me, is synonymous for all these Black bodies that have come up missing, that people have stolen organs from and have put into the bodies of white people because our organs are scientifically bigger than theirs and have been able to outlast theirs. And it's just been a lot of stuff. And I mean, that's just scientific. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody being racist or none of this other stuff that people might try to conjure up for no reason. But I'm just saying, like, it is a thing. It is a thing. And it still is a thing where people be minding their business and they end up missing. And then when somebody finally find their body, the organs have been harvested. When I tell you growing up in Alabama, I used to hear so many stories about Georgia. That's why I never like riding through none of the sundown towns. I don't like riding through Georgia specifically unless I have to. And I know I got gas to make it through. If I know I got gas to make it through, I ain't stopping. And if I do stop, I'm trying to stop somewhere where there are a lot of people there at the gas station. When I did have to stop through there, one of the last times that I rode through Georgia coming back up north, there were a lot of people at the Loves, I think it's called, the gas station. So I was happy. It was well lit. So I mean, when I tell y'all I was nervous the entire time, I don't like paying at nobody's gas pump, but I was like, let me pay at this gas pump real quick, get up out of here. I can't do it. And it was a 24-hour, situation. I was like, nope. And the gas pumps, I know at that location I went to are so far away from the doors of the actual building. I just can't, I don't like stuff like that. I was like, let me hurry up. And I just kept looking all around me, paranoid, because it was dark outside. It was in the middle of the night. And I don't like having to really drive in the middle of the night like that. But I took a risk, and luckily didn't happen. But I just don't prefer having to travel in the middle of the night, going through sundown towns and all that stuff. Any of these states, I don't like going through Georgia, none of that. So anyway, y'all, tell me why Ptolemy talked to this man and was like, you need to give me this shot. You need something from me. I don't care nothing about this $5,000 that this contract that I'm reading that I have to sign off on says that you are going to compensate me for, because you telling me that my body belongs to you. Now, does my soul belong to you? He was like, no, unfortunately, I can't own you. So he was like, oh, okay, because I'm going to need that. I was like, oh my gosh, Samuel L. Jackson, you're killing me. But anyway, but yeah, he was just like, you need to just let me do what I need to do, which is I need to guarantee that this is going to work. I need to get all of my memories. If you try to tell me that me getting this next shot is going to give all of my memories back to me, I need them so that I can piece together all this stuff, so that I can see who killed my nephew, figure it out, and figure out where this, I got some other stuff I got to handle. Like, I ain't got time for this. Time is winding down. And he was just like, I ain't here for nothing you talking about. So ultimately, I don't know if he signed off. I think that man was desperate enough to be like, look, okay, I guess. Because he was like, I can't do that. Because he kept saying to him, when I get my memories back, after I do everything I need to do, I'll sign the paperwork. And he kept telling him, that's not the way this works. You got to sign the paperwork first. So I'm not sure if he was able to get him to sign off on the paperwork first or not, but it is what it is. So they done took a cab home. He going through. Like, I guess the way that a lot of y'all were after y'all took those shots, where you were weak, he was really weak and all this stuff. And so he was like, well, I'm going to sit outside for a little while and get some of this, soak up some of this sun. And told Robin that she's welcome to join him if she wants to. So they, talking and having a heart to heart. And he was just like, if you were in my predicament, what would you do? Because, of course, he's thankful that she was there. And Reggie ain't there no more or whatever. And so, like, even in this moment, he's remembering things that I'm glad that he's remembering in this moment. But it's like, he want to know, like, if you were in my predicament, what would you do? And don't say you would just throw yourself out a window and all this other stuff, because if you were going through what I was going through, you wouldn't even remember what you was upset about to even say, oh, let me go throw myself out a window. You wouldn't even know what was going on. So the woman who he loaned the money to came up the street. He remembered it was her. And so she ended up coming in the house and she doing homework or something. Because like I said, this is a child. And they talking, having a good old conversation. And she could tell that they like each other. So it's like, oh, I see what's going on here. So she making them some tea or some coffee. And, they just getting their lives. And so the woman came to, of course, give him the $50 that she owed him. And he, of course, because of what was going on with him when he was at the bank, he don't even remember loaning her the money. And so she was like, yeah, you seem very different from the day that I met you in the bank. But you were so kind to do this. You didn't know me. Like, who does that? So, what I'm saying? He asked her if she still had that ring that she showed him back then. She was like, I do. Well, he ended up bringing out this really nice decorative cloth for her to carry it in, because I think she just has it in some old napkin, an old random napkin. Well, old girl went on ahead and took the $50 that he gave her to go and get some groceries from the store. And she coming out the store and this dude rolled up on her. And she was like, okay, if you know my name, Robin, then why are you trying to ask, well, who are you? And I think your name is Robin and all this other stuff or whatever. So, she giving him the third degree because she looking at him like every other dude. Like, all these dudes be sending it off doing the least. And he really like her. This dude really like her. And then he made it known that he knows Reggie and this other person wanted to know how Reggie was doing, and so she was like, dead. And he was like, no, seriously. And she was like, he dead. He got killed. What you talking about? So he's taking it. You could tell that he really didn't know. He in his feelings. And it's like, what happened to him? She explained what happened. And you know what I'm saying? I think he's friends also with Philly Fred. And it is what it is. You could tell old boy like her. And I know I'd have seen this man somewhere before. But you could tell he liked her. So he offered to drive her back to the house. And he actually knows Ptolemy too. Because he just kept name dropping. And so she was like, oh, okay, well, he do know people, but I don't know about him like that. So she was like, no, I got it. I'll walk. And so he was like, well, I mean, I'll walk with you. And then he offered to carry the bags. He done carried the groceries and everything. So they walking and they talking. They get to talking about music. And for her to be so young, she know about good stuff. I'm like, not you knowing about Stevie Wonder albums and things. And so she was like, not you bringing up the golden record in casual conversation. Nobody just talks about stuff like that. And so he noticed something that she drew on her shoe, and she corrected him on about what it was. But the fact that he knew that, it's like, that's not a normal conversation that I would have with just random guys around here. And so he over here looking like, let me run you my number so that, you can call me, and after you run it by Mr. Gray about me coming by, because he asked if he can come by. He was like, oh, well, I'm going to come by and see about him, because he knew her whole situation. He knew that she had been staying with Niecy, who is the heifer who is covering for her rapist, thieving son. I can't. And he ended up walking her back, like I told y'all, and all of that. And so, this is basically a segue into him being able to have her number, or her to have his number, and them being able to talk, even though he do want to see Ptolemy and, actually check on him and see how he doing and all of that. So she done got back there. The woman is about to leave because she says one of her friends got out of the hospital and she needed to go and see her. And so he was like, are you sure you need to go this soon? Whatever. I'm talking about, I had a good old time with this woman. So as she's coming in, she about to leave out. And so she's like, oh, you leaving so soon? And so, they said their goodbyes, like kiss each other on the cheek. I said, y'all done went off. So anyway, old girl was like, oh, well, I got to go run some errands. I'll be back. I got to go pick up the rest of my stuff from Niecy's house. So she left back out. And he was like, well, don't worry about it. I'll put all this stuff up. You can go do that. So he went to go put on the stove, and the little pilot light, the light that come on, because he has a gas stove. I can't with no gas stoves, y'all. I've always been so paranoid about it. I don't even want to get into it. Anyway, I've definitely cooked on them before, but I can't. In real life, I don't know if I could ever, willingly live somewhere that's gassed out like that. Anyway, he starts looking into the fire, and he's having a flashback and all of that. I was just like, Lord, like, he's seeing the end of Coy Dog's story, I guess you could say. These men surrounded him, and he actually saw this man about to be getting hanged. He actually was getting hanged. So that was the end of Coy Dog's story, pretty much. At least for right now. I think the next part is entitled Coy Dog. I could be wrong. But anyway, so he finally comes to, and we end up seeing the guy, I think Philly Fred, I'm sorry. He always told her, like, if you need anything, call me. And so he ended up going over to Niecy's house with her to retrieve the rest of her things. Well, the raggedy child, I don't know why just his name escaped me all of a sudden. Hilliard, that's Niecy's son, the raggedy one that stole Ptolemy's money. He done rolled up after she got the last box and was carrying it to the car. And he was like, what were you doing up in there? Didn't nobody tell y'all to come up in our house? I got to see what's in these boxes. You probably was stealing. And so old boy, Philly Fred, had to set it off. Was like, man, get away from this car before I go upside your head. Like, he was like, man, He one of them people where he probably got to run go get a gun in order to try to, regulate something. Like, go somewhere and sit down. Like, I can't. So anyway, she was basically trying to say, I knocked on the door, didn't nobody answer, so I used my key that I had to go in and retrieve my things. I ain't steal nothing to y'all's. I got my stuff and left. So he over here doing the most. I'm just like, you are so trifling. Like, I can't. He is so trifling. Oh, he's so trifling, Lord. So after she retrieved everything, went back to Ptolemy's house. She went in the house and basically told him, look, Philly Fred helped me get my stuff, and now you about to treat him to lunch. He was like, well, I guess. I was like, dang, y'all sure we making him have to pay for stuff. This man get $300 a month. Child. Anyway, but before they ended up going, he ended up actually remembering like 200 and something names of family members and friends from back home in Mississippi, which is where he's from. And he was writing them down. He was like, I can't remember. I ain't remember these people in so long. I can't remember the last time I remembered these people. And so, they ended up going out to lunch and they talking and they having a good heart to heart. Tell me why this woman came out the kitchen and brought some extra chicken to Philly Fred and was like, I know it's on the house. I already know you could probably handle some more of that, keep your strength up. I was like, no. And she was kind of thick too. I was like, no. And he was kind of here for it. I was like, wait. And he is a fine chocolate man to me. I've been trying to fight it because when I first saw him at the little viewing of the body at the house, I was like, woo. And I know him from somewhere. I was trying to deny that this man was fine. I was like, nope, let me not even say that. He ain't fine. Nope, that ain't what's going on here. That is not what's going on here. But anyway, he's just basically, Ptolemy is just basically letting them know, look, I'm going to figure out what happened to my nephew. I got to do what I got to do. And I got to figure out where this treasure at. So it is what it is. Y'all, tell me why the raggedy nephew, Hilliard, done went back to the house and then rolled up on his mama while she getting ready for bed and gonna say, yeah, Niecy was up in here stealing stuff and taking stuff and da-da-da-da. And so it's like the mama, she don't believe that Niecy would try to do nothing wrong to nobody or use nobody. But he gonna sit up there and say, well, she over there living with him. She ain't related to him. We blood related to him. I'm like, you raising up like you care about this man. That man is your uncle. But you don't care nothing about Ptolemy. Just stop the cap. Stop all of it. But anyway, they set it off and was like, he got a treasure over there. And that's the only reason why she over there. She just trying to find the treasure. She just trying to find the money. Everybody say he got some kind of container full of money. I don't know why, a steel box full of money. And that's the only reason why she over there, so she can get that money out of him. And so he over here talking out of his behind, not knowing the situation, talking about, well, we can get her away from him by having him snatched up out of there and all of that, because he needs to be taken care of and she ain't taking care of him. That house is filthy, whatever. That house is clean. Baby, you don't know what's going on. And she was the one to help clean it up. I was like, child. And then he really was talking about getting adult protective services involved. Y'all know I was a child protective services social worker. Now, we were on one end and child protective services on the other end. They were a very small unit. I don't think a lot of people know about that unit, or at least back home they didn't. They ain't really get no work like that, from what I heard. But yeah, I accidentally stopped the video. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, that boy talking about getting adult protective services involved so that they can go in and see that it's unfit, that it's an unfit situation and have him pulled out or whatever. And I'm just like, you trash, all because you think you finna benefit from the check he getting. This man get $300. Somehow this man get $100 from each check he get. He get 3 different checks. Now, in my mind, I'm like, maybe the way they have it set up is he pay his rent out of the check some kind of way before he get it. Because is this just a place that he's already had paid off, or does he really just only get $300, $100 from everybody? Like, why is this Social Security so low? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Because I was like, this ain't making no sense. What is y'all talking about? So anyway, they end up showing the past, like in the 70s, when Ptolemy first met his wife, Cynthia. He was minding his business, because when I saw him running, this was Atlanta in 1976. And so he running, and then he gets to this park, and he running through the park, and we see like a family reunion or something going on, somebody barbecuing, people playing, video recording things. Like, it's just a nice family setting. And so he running through, and then he go and sit on one of the picnic tables, and he reading. Like, he really went for a jog. So Cynthia is with her friends or cousins or sisters or somebody and see him and was like, I'll be back in a minute, and rolled up on him. Child, rolled up, and he was kind of looking at this heifer like, okay, she fine, but why is she rolling up on me? You doing the most. And so, like, she was very interested in him, and he randomly brings up Coy Dog in that situation. He always told him that there's always going to come a time where a black man is going to have to run. And so I figure I might as well stay in shape, and so I'll be able to do that, which is sad. It's sad. It's sad, but that actually might be true. That might ring true for a lot of people, and it's sad. But he's reading Strangers on a Train and all this stuff. And like, she's so intrigued by him. Tell me why this man she was dealing with, I don't forgot this man's name in real life. Y'all probably saw him on, was it Love Is? I know he was on First or My First. I used to see him a lot on a lot of Issa Rae stuff before she popped. When she was on YouTube really, really heavy, before she has all the fame that she has now. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I can't think of this man's name. It's not Nasser. I don't know why I can't think of his name. And he gonna be in another movie that's coming out. Oh my gosh, this man get checks left and right. I don't know why I can't think of his name. But as of late, he's been playing a bad guy, and I don't like it. Like, I'll just be like, child, it seems like all he do is play a bad guy somewhere. So anyway, he's this abusive husband, boyfriend, or whatever, and he tried to roll up and told her it's time to go, whatever. And so to keep the peace, she didn't want to hear nothing he had to say, and went on ahead and left. And so she looked back at him, Ptolemy, and they just looked at each other. So then all of a sudden we see them together. She done rolled up to his place, and they kissing and making out. Then all of a sudden the door get broke down. He done rolled up with a bat, trying to set it off on Ptolemy, and he was like, look, man, I don't want no trouble. I ain't got time for this. Like, he really came in at a fight. And so he ended up having to fight this man. Because if it's going to be one of them, it was going to be him or him. It was going to be me or you. So he done hit him with the bat and some more. Tell me why Cynthia done set it off, got a gun out. And so he was like, oh, you going to kill me over this here? I was like, oh my gosh, no. She shot this man. And then when he tried to run, she really was about to kill him. Ptolemy ran behind her and like snatched her before she was going to kill this man. She's a great shot, by the way. And so she was confused as to why he did all of this. And so he was like, look, I don't want to start this thing off if I'm going to be with you, having to deal with a dead body and all this other stuff. And so she was like, I want to be with you, because after explaining how he lives his life, he lives a very safe life. He like reading books. She like, look, I want you to read me books every night before I go to sleep. And I just want to wake up to you, whatever. Child. Then it's like he's having all of this restful sleep after he has had all that stuff to pop off. Then all of a sudden, he woke up, and then he remembers where he put the treasure. Then woke Robin up out of her sleep. Like, wake up, bird. Wake up, bird. I remember where it was. And so the way he's talking, he seemed like he's having a manic episode. And so she's still trying to go with the flow because he done woke up in the middle of the night doing the most. Got a knife, then cut the rug up, and he was like, I remember when I was with Cynthia, she shot a hole in the ground. She shot a hole in the floor. And so he repaired the hole. He remembered where he repaired it. He repaired the floor. And he cut the rug up. And you can see where the new board met the old board. And then he starts prying up the board. So I guess next time it come on in a couple of days, we're going to see what's under there. So it's a lot that's going on in this show. I cannot wait. This show is so good, y'all. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review of the last days of Ptolemy Gray. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up. And let's talk about it down in the comment section. Bye, y'all.